It says extramarital sexuality is a pleasure of the present that disregards the path of life. Life is designed to walk on a path, to move forward. But extramarital sexuality says, I don't care about the path. I care about the present, this moment, this opportunity, this person right now, right here. And that's exactly the same as taking a hit of drugs or getting drunk. Cares nothing for the future. Does it make sense? Guys, particularly, this has got to make sense. And so what I thought I would do is illustrate this by showing you what an adulterous woman looks like. Can you handle it? Okay. You ready? You ready? Here it comes. Okay, so this is Angela from The Office, and she's portrayed on The Office as this upstanding Christian woman who's also very particular about your behavior. And she's always telling other people what they can and can't do, and she's also uppity about cats. But there's one thing that she does in the series, that she sleeps around with Dwight. If you've watched this show, she sleeps around with Dwight even though she's engaged to another man. Now, I don't care who she's engaged to. She wasn't married to Dwight, and therefore she shouldn't be messing around with that guy. That makes her in the category, according to the Bible, of an adulterous woman, because she's a person who is engaged in that. And guess what? She comes into your house every Thursday night. What about these people who used to come into your house and don't do so anymore? But these are the friends. We've got Chandler on the left-hand side, and all three of those women are adulterous women, and all three of those men are adulterous men. Now, I'm not saying this to say you should never watch television. I'm not saying this to say those people are going to hell and I need to judge them and you need to judge them. I'm just speaking as a matter of fact. These are people who come into your house on reruns or on DVD, or if you ever watched it back on Thursdays, whenever it was on. They walk into your house because you open the door when you turn on the television, and then they portray to you what adultery is all about. They portray to you that kind of lifestyle. Here's just a more up-to-date picture of them and all that stuff. But here's the deal. I want to ask you to seriously consider this. This is for guys. Seriously consider, what is the picture of sexuality that you are getting from the world? I'm serious about this. Because guys, you have a tendency to watch someone on the screen and say, that's what a woman should be like. That's what a woman should look like. That's how a woman should behave. Those are the things a woman should talk about. That's the way a woman should dress. And that's the way a woman should act in bed. That's the way a woman should act when I'm getting frisky. That's the way, and guys, it messes with you. You know why? Because that's putting mental thoughts in your head that are outside of your marriage. We're going to come back to this in a little bit, but it's even more damaging for women. Because women, you look at this stuff on the screen, you see these ladies on the screen, and you say, that's how I'm supposed to act? That's what I'm supposed to look like? That's what I'm supposed to dress like? I mean, I don't think any of you ladies in this room today have enough money to dress like those women do. And to get the makeup that those women do, and have the hairstylist that those women do. More than that, I doubt that any of you women in this room have the personality that says, I want to treat guys and be treated by guys the way these women are treated by guys. Now, I don't know all of you personally, and so I can't make that blanket judgment, but I'd be willing to guess that if you get your picture of sexuality from the media, it's going to mess with your head. One last question. I know you let some of these people into your house. You watch the shows, and you're letting these thoughts come into your head. I do the same thing, and I have to evaluate. I have to try to put up a firewall, some type of blocker to keep some of these thoughts out. And I consistently talk with my wife about this stuff to try to reevaluate those things. But here's the deal. Is there any human being in your life who also qualifies as an adulterous person? Not so you judge them. but so you filter everything that comes from them. Guys, if you are dating someone who qualifies biblically as an adulterous person, you need to find some way of shutting down that portion of the relationship. Women, if you are dating someone who qualifies as an adulterous person, someone who engages in sexuality outside the bonds of marriage, break up now and wait until he gets his act together. Because if we continue reading, we're going to see something here that is utterly serious. Keep going. Pick up at verse 7. Solomon says, "Now, my sons, listen to me. Do not turn aside from what I say. Keep to a path far from her. Do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your best strength to others and your years to one who is cruel. Don't even go near her house, or that you might end up losing everything that it is that you ever wanted out of life. At the end of your life," verse 11, "at the end of your life," or verse 10 rather, "lest strangers feast on your wealth and your toil enrich another man's house. At the end of your life you will groan when your flesh and body are spent. You will say, 'How I hated discipline, how my heart spurned correction. I would not listen, I would not obey my teachers or listen to my instructors. I've come to the brink of utter ruin in the midst of the whole assembly.'" The guy who writes Proverbs, Solomon, the wisest man in the world, who also wrote the most erotic text in the whole Bible, this guy says, stay away, avoid, because it's going to ruin your entire life. It's going to take your best strength and give it to strangers. Dudes, if you are young enough now to not be married, but be messing around with girls, you are taking your best strength and giving it to strangers. And it will mess up your life. The only possible way I can illustrate this better is by showing you a clip from Monty Python. And so, because today is rated PG-13, I thought I could go ahead and show Monty Python without many repercussions. And so I'm going to show you this. It's about 4 minutes long, and this is going to tell you how to respond to sexual temptation. Okay? And it's not the scene with Sir Robin the Chaste or whoever in the tower. It's a different one. But this is how to respond to sexual temptation. Go ahead and hit the lights. Here it is. Okay, so here's the application from Monty Python. Okay? Here's the application. What to do in response to sexual temptation. The right response is to run away and snuff it. Sexual temptation comes on you like a little bunny rabbit. And you're like, man, that's just, it looks so cute. It looks so great. It looks so wonderful. And then next thing you know, it's jumping up and biting off your head. That's the way sexuality works. It ruins you when used inappropriately. So here's the application. Run away. Run away, and then as soon as you can, snuff it. Lobbest thou a holy hand grenade onto it. Okay, so I got to get real practical here. Guys, I'm asking you to quit everything sexual that is outside the umbrella of your marriage. That means if you are not married, I'm asking you to quit everything sexual at all, unless it points you to a holy life that you can enter into marriage with. Because if you are not married, you are looking forward to that moment when you are married. And purity now results in God blessing you with something great later. If you are married, guys, I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about pornography. I'm talking about those stupid Victoria's Secret commercials on television. I'm talking about the catalogs that show up at your house because your wife ordered something sometime 10 years ago and they keep flooding you. In my house, we've got a couple things that go on. Number one, if we're watching something that's recorded and a video, a commercial of Victoria's Secret or something comes on, I click the fast forward button. If I don't have the fast forward button, I kid you not, my wife will sometimes put her hand in front of my eyes, and I don't push it away. I'm like, okay, let's just do this thing. And then if the catalog comes into our household, I understand that it's my responsibility, not only her responsibility. If she sees one of these catalogs, she takes it away from me and either recycles it, or if she needs something, she takes it somewhere else. I don't know. I haven't seen one in 5 years. If they do show up, then I have the manliness right now to turn it face down and put her other mail on top of it and walk away. Because I'm not going to go there. Now, listen. In the Sunday paper today, there's a Target ad. And in that Target ad, there's going to be some bra advertisements or bathing suit advertisements. And they put women in those bras and bathing suits. They don't just put the bras and the bathing suits flat on the page. They stick women in there. And so I could flip through the Target ad trying to find what the latest prices are on some Wii game and end up looking at some woman, and I have to make the choice to say, that's it. I'm not going to go there. This is especially a problem with guys, more so than it is for girls. But listen, dudes, don't buy the lie. Us guys, we do not have the mental capacity to separate female beauty from sexuality. Do not buy the lie that I can appreciate God's beautiful creation in the world and I can appreciate beauty without feeling the sense of sexuality being affected by that. It is a lie. It is false. The reason those women are in those bras is for sexual reasons, not for anything else. Because no woman needs to see another woman in a bra. Right? How many of you women look through those magazines saying, man, I wish I could see a woman actually wearing this. I wish I could see a really, really great looking model type woman wearing this in a size that's not my size. That's what no woman wants to see those things. The reason those women are in there is for sexuality for you. That's the reason they're in there. Am I making my point? Quit all of it. Not just pornography, not just the stuff that shows up on the internet, not the stuff... And by the way, guys, if you have a problem with the internet, I'm serious about this. You can talk to me. I've set up a filter in my house that is open to the world. If anyone wants to use an internet filter and you can't find a good one, talk to me. I'll hook you up with the internet filter that's going on in my house. And you can actually do that. It'll actually work out. If you're getting these things in email, switch to Gmail. I've been on Gmail for a while and I haven't seen a sexually explicit email in probably the last 5-10 years. And so I'm pretty satisfied with that. If you have some problems with that, talk to me or Reggie when he gets around. He's got a knee problem today. He's not here. But let's deal with this. But the thing is, you need to quit. Put an end to it. Eliminate it. Let's read a little further. We're in verse 15. So, if we're quitting all sexuality outside the borders of marriage, what does it look like inside the borders of marriage? Verse 15. Drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. Should your springs overflow in the streets, your streams of water in the public squares? Let them be yours alone, never to be shared with strangers. May your fountain be blessed, and may you rejoice in the wife of your youth. PG-13 alert. A loving doe, a graceful deer, may her breasts satisfy you always. It's in the Bible. May you ever be captivated by her love. May you ever be captivated by her love. See, the passage here is telling us, listen, if you're going to quit sexuality outside the bonds of marriage, then absolutely love it inside the bonds of marriage. And here's the real practical application. It's simply this. Cultivate delight in your spouse. Cultivate delight in your spouse. Every single day, I think my wife, Jennifer, is getting prettier and prettier. Every single day. And it's messing with my head. Because, in my mind, she's prettier than when we got married. And I'm beginning to kind of freak out a little bit because I'm noticing this every single day. And so because it's messing with my head, I feel like I have to get it out. And so I'm telling her this.